Hello everybody, I'm Michael Giacchino. I write the music for Lost. When I started working in TV, my fear was that I wasn't going to be able to work with live orchestra because when I started on Alias, there was no shows, essentially, that was using a live orchestra because it's expensive, and over the years, synthesizers have come to replace, live musicians, which is very sad. So when I met JJ, one of our first conversations was, I felt like we had to do it with a live orchestra. I didn't want a standard orchestra for this show. I just wanted something that was not typical for what you would get on a show about characters stranded on an island. So the orchestra I put together was, trombones, 4 trombones, a string section, a crazy percussion a group of just crazy stuff back there, a harp player. Here we have a player that can play any beautiful thing in the world on the harp, and what do I ask them to do? I go say, okay, grab the low C and you hit it with your nail 14 times, at a tempo of 60 BPM, right?
And I'm glad to do it.
It's just, they say that, but come on, they'd much rather be, I'm sure. I always feel so bad when I write that note, and I'm like, ugh. But
we are glad to do it.
What does it sound like? Can you grab that? There you go. This giant thing is needed to do that, but it's such a great sound, carries scenes, whole scenes. It'll carry a whole scene sometimes, just that thing over and over. When I worked on Alias with JJ, I'd get a tape and I would watch the entire episode and I'd be like, okay, I get the episode and I get what the story is, and I'd start working on it. But with Lost, I remember after seeing the very first episode, I thought, no, this has got to be done differently. And what I wanted to try and do was, what I'll do is when I sit down to write an episode, I'll watch it only a scene at a time. I don't watch the whole thing. So I'll start at the beginning. I'll get to a point where there needs music, and I'll write that cue. When we work, the scene gets projected up here, and we also have it in the booth. I'll generally stay in the booth. Since we have a very short period of time to do these things, my friend Tim will conduct for me, and I'll sit in the booth with Dan Wallen, the engineer, and I'll listen back to the playback. And the players, it's funny, because some of the players watch the show, and you can see them as they're playing. They're kind of like playing and looking up, sneaking peeks at the screen and wondering what's going on. So they're always getting hints of what's to come, but it's hard to make sense because we usually go out of order when we're recording. So you're seeing different random scenes, and then they can't hear the dialogue.
How'd you know Claire was drowning?
I could hear her calling for help.
You, hear the lightning as well?
Just by chance, you pitch your little rod outside Claire's tent. 2 hours later, lightning strikes. I don't know how you're doing what it is you're doing, but I know a coward when I see one. Yeah, a coward.
Ah! You don't want to know what happened to me when I got that key! Get off! You don't want to know! Get off me! You don't want to know what happened to me! You don't want to know! You don't want to know! Doesn't matter what you do.
What the hell are you doing?
You can't change it. You can't change it no matter what you try to do. You just can't change it.
Son of a bitch.